Guys, it's Betsy with Keto Creations, and today I'm going to teach you how to make some coffee cake muffins. So let's start by gathering our ingredients. We're going to need both almond flour and coconut flour. For the sweeteners, I've got Swerve Brown and Swerve Confectioners. We'll need some almond milk and some vanilla and baking powder and cinnamon, eggs and butter, and some whey protein powder. I prefer to use the vanilla just to give it a little extra flavor. And if I've missed anything, we'll hit it when we do it. Okay, so here we go. Let's start by taking a half a cup of almond flour. I'm going to put up my glasses because I'm old now, so the only way I can see up close is by removing my I'm blind, I can't see far away glasses. So, now that I can see, let's do a half a cup of almond flour into our small bowl. I just have one about this size. So we've got a half a cup of almond flour going in, and I need 3 tablespoons of the Swerve Brown. You can use whatever brown sugar substitute you like, that's up to you. Remember that if you use allulose, it will change the texture of what you're baking. Allulose makes things gooey. So in this case, I don't want to use allulose. I also need 2 tablespoons of coconut flour. Just shake it back and forth until I get a relatively flat surface there. Okay, and then 3/4 of a teaspoon of cinnamon. I'll probably put a whole teaspoon in because I really like cinnamon, and yeah, why not? Measure spices with your heart, right? Okay, so I'm going to give that all a little mix. Break up that brown sugar, or sweetener rather. So it looks like this. And now I'm going to put in a half of a stick or 1/4 cup of melted butter. And then we're going to mix that all together until we form some nice crumbly topping. And I'll show you when I get done what that's going to look like. Again, I'm just taking my fork and kind of smashing the sugar and stuff into the butter. Okay, so here's where we are. That's what it looks like. That's what you're looking for. So that's done. We'll set that aside. Now we're going to mix up the muffins. Okay, so we need 2 cups of almond flour. Again, like I said, I like to put the thing in, the cup in, and then tip the bag so it just kind of falls into it, so it doesn't pack down in there, so you don't end up with extra without realizing it. Okay, so that's 2 cups of almond flour. Now we need 1/3 of a cup of sweetener, regular sweetener. You can use granulated sweetener in this. I just prefer the powdered. It mixes in better. You don't get any kind of crunchiness or grittiness from it. Okay, now I need a tablespoon baking powder. So when you do this, I like the tins that have this little shelf thing so you can scrape it off and get a nice flat measure on it. Okay, then we need a half a teaspoon of cinnamon-ish. Okay, then we need 1/4 teaspoon of salt. I'm just going to pay attention to this. I hope I just put everything together. You should always read the directions of your recipe before you start, but okay, good. I was right. I do put everything in there, but I thought, well, I haven't read that for a while. Maybe I should have paid attention better. All right, 1/4 teaspoon of salt going in. Now I'm going to give this a little whisk, mix it up a little bit. You're just trying to, evenly distribute all its component parts. Okay, so now we'll put in the butter, the eggs, the almond milk, and vanilla, and then mix it again. Okay, so I need a half a stick of butter melted, which I didn't prep this part, so we'll have to let that melt. So 4 eggs, 2, 3, washing my hands because I just got egg goo. Wash your hands. I forgot to tell you, in the dry ingredients, you're also going to want to put in your protein powder. I forgot, so I just put it in now on top of those eggs. It's not that big a deal. It'll be all right. Half a cup of almond milk, unsweetened, of course, and a half a teaspoon of vanilla, or a whole teaspoon, whatever you want to do. Okay, so there's that. Okay, we're just going to break those eggs up, and then hopefully I can mix the rest together. Mix it all up there. Make sure we get it nice and combined. And then we're going to divide the batter amongst our prepared cupcake or muffin tin. I definitely recommend always using the paper liners or a silicone liner when you're doing keto cupcakes. Makes getting them out a lot easier. And sometimes they're kind of tender, so you don't want to rough handle them or you'll end up with crumbs. Okay, now I'm going to mix in this butter, and then we should be good to go. You could do the butter all at the same time with the other stuff. I just like to do the eggs separately and get the butter in there last. It really doesn't matter though. That's just personal preference. Okay, so now here's the consistency that we're looking for. You know, regular cupcake batter style. I think I'll probably use a 1/4 cup measurer to scoop it into these. May have to adjust a little more, a little less, depending on what it looks like when I fill it. Okay, I'm gonna put you down here so you can see what I'm doing now. So, it's a 1/4 cup, it's a 1/4 cup. Don't want to get too full, because if you do, then they're going to come over the top and make a mess, and that is not what we're looking for. So I'm filling them about 2/3 of the way up. Seems to be a good amount for them. Okay, I'm going to get the rest of that out of there, and then I'll show you where we are on these cupcake tins. I clean it up so I don't have a big mess later. Okay, so this is what it's looking like, right? And then we're going to bake that at 325 for 25 to 35 minutes until a tester comes out clean, just like you do for any other kind of cake, cupcakes, whatever. Okay? All right, we'll take a look when they're done. I'll show you how we... Oh, wait. I almost forgot. That would have been a tragedy. We need to put some of the crumb topping on each one. I will probably just do it with my hands, I think, just because I think it'll be easier to do. Just, you know, something like this. Let's go back to the beginning, add some more to those. I got a little left, so I'm just kind of spacing it out, trying to get an even crumb topping around on all of them. Alright, so now, like I was saying, 25 minutes at 325 until a tester comes out done. And then after that, we're going to let them cool in the pan. Then we'll take the muffins out and let them cool a little more. And then we'll top them with the drizzle that we're going to make. I'll come back and we'll do that later. Hi guys. So we're back and the muffins are baked and cooled. So now I'm going to show you how I top them. So here's one of the muffins. All you're going to do is take a 1/4 cup of swerve, 2 teaspoons of water, and a 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla. I like to add a little cinnamon to it, but that preference is yours. Whether or not you want to do that, that's fine. And then I will top the cupcake or the muffin with it, and I like to put mine in one of these little squeezy bottles because it's easier to direct the flow. And then I just, you know, make it look pretty. Put them in the fridge and let that set and enjoy. I promise you're gonna love it. Do yourself a favor, make those.